We're back. We're live. Are we live? Yeah,
We're live.
I was watching
Oh,
YouTube,
no.
not
Baby brain.
StreamYard.
Baby brain.
Chasing green arrows. Hello, my friends. Welcome back, chasers. Welcome back, everyone. We're looking ahead to game week 10. Hello to everyone watching on catch up. Hello to everyone watching live. I'm today's host, Gianni Team, FPL Kino, and I am joined by football journalist and FPL enthusiast Dean Jones, who is not only beating me this season, but both his sons, who are under the age of 8, are also beating me. How you getting on, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. We'll talk about you in a second. I was rescued. Van der Ven to the rescue.
Yeah.
He got his cape on, and I've ended with a very strong game week that's got me up into about 300k. So that was great. One of my kids is still beating me though. He's at like 250k or something. So yeah, that's not annoying because I helped him pick his team. I'm good at handing out advice, it seems. But mate, how are you doing? Because you went on the show on Friday and we weren't sure why.
Oh man, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I now we have an extra family member. I've got a little boy. My wife gave birth on Friday. So yeah, Friday was eventful and Saturday was eventful and Sunday was eventful. And here we are Monday, and still like recovery from a C-section is brutal. So Cam can't really, I mean, she can sort of walk to the toilet and that's about it. She can't come downstairs or lift the baby. Or get the baby out of the cot and bend over. So there's a lot of nappies to change. There's a lot of passing the baby. There's a lot of looking after our 3-year-old, as well as still doing some work. So it's been busy today. But yeah, can't complain. And no sleep, obviously. But you know the drill with that, right?
Oh mate, I'm never going through that again. Well done, mate. Congratulations to both of you. Lovely little family of 4. Well done. FPL Discomfort says, so 3 years, G, until your son is beating you at FPL.
Yeah, pretty much. If Dean's anything to go by. I mean, my daughter in 2 years will be beating me if Dean's youngest is anything to go by.
I got
Dean's
a 5
youngest
and
is
a
5.
7, so 5 and 7 one. It's the 7-year-old that's flying right now. He doesn't even realise. He even looks at his team from the weekend. I just looked earlier on because I knew that someone would bring it up.
I'm actually having an all right season as well. I'm going fine. Mate, what I hate about mid-game week ranks, though, I never like to check my rank mid-game week, but this week I did before the last game, the Spurs game. So, like, 9 games had been played. I was like, very little interest in Spurs, Everton. Like, who's got that many Spurs and Everton players? Like, a bit of Ndai, a bit of Van der Ven, whatever. Couldn't believe it. I saw Van der Ven's Horn, was like, that'll hit me, but not hard. Because he was, 5% owned? He's 30% owned. So I went from 900k to 1.4 million. I lost nearly 500k from Van der Ven. Well, from that fixture, but it was pretty much only Van der Ven.
He's cheap.
I started the season with him, but I didn't realize people still had him.
Yeah. Great asset. We
need to talk about him because actually, when you think about it, he's not only cheap, but Spurs keep clean sheets, but Spurs are now going to be a very good set-piece team because of one man and one man only in Thomas Frank. Under Ange Postecoglou, they were crap at set-pieces. And Van der Ven, we know, is so athletic. He can jump, he can run. He's going to get goals. So, yeah, kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. As I say, I was definitely not expecting it, but I was having a terrible game week up to that point. We might as well show our teams to get the show started today. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it. G is doing well to keep his eyes open. You don't even look that tired, mate, to be honest. So well done. There's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this was a game week where if you owned Rodon, Mbeumo or Van der Ven, you got a green arrow. And if you didn't own any of those 3 players, you almost certainly got a red arrow. I genuinely think it came down to those 3. In fact, let's just do a poll. Did you own one of those 3 players? One or more of those 3 players? Mbeumo, Van der Ven, Rodon. And I bet it's about a 50-50 split. But because a lot own Rodon as well. Like, Rodon's highly owned in the community.
Oh, mate, we were talking about it a lot on Friday's chat. Like, there's a lot of people, should I get Rodon or this, Rodon or that? I was like, go Rodon. Like, West Ham and rubbish, go for him. So we definitely helped a few people pick Rodon from Friday's stream. So that's good. I'm pleased that happened. But yeah, it was a good pick. Van der Ven. And Mbeumo as well. Like, there's a few people in the chat deliberating which United asset to go for. A couple sticking by Cunha. I still was adamant that Mbeumo was a better pick, so I was pleased when Mbeumo at least got a goal.
I like that. Good shout. Yeah, the United attack is interesting.
Like, I think Cunha's an all-round better player, but I think Mbeumo just gets into the same role. He's doing literally what they signed him for. They look at the positions that he was scoring goals from, the positions that he had shots from on a weekly basis, and they were like, this is so reliable. And now United don't play the same system as Brentford, so it's slightly different, and maybe that's why it's taken a little while for United to get up and running. But now the 10s are clicking, as we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, especially with Ahmed and his role. Like, it's really reliable. Šeško's bringing things together as well. I thought he had a good game. So it's really, really nice. Johan says, I just kept Bruno like the sucker I am. I mean, I get it. That wasn't a bad decision, mate. It was just unfortunate that's the way it's going to go sometimes. But next time around, it might be Bruno that gets the points. And you're going to have to accept that. Thank you, Glenn, for gifting a membership. Very nice of you, mate.
Yeah, and Geddy gets it, and Geddy's one of our regulars. So thank you so much, Glenn. We appreciate that. There'll be members-only content out this week. As always, channel members are prioritised in the chat. And actually, one channel member, Kieran, aka FPL Discomfort, he didn't have one of these three players and still had a green arrow, which he's the first person I know who's had a green arrow without owning Rodon, Mbeumo, or Van der Ven. He's also at 36k, which makes him, for me, by some distance, the best ranked current content creator I know. Now, really? Kieran's also a channel member. Kieran, you're also in my WhatsApp group. Could you send a screen grab of your team, maybe your points from last week, or just your team moving forward, your bus team for next week? That'd be better. And we will get it on the show today. If you can WhatsApp me that message now, I would love to show your team because we want to talk some differentials and your team is full of them. So, yeah, Kieran, send that. In terms of my game week, Minter's 5 points was the only attacking return I got from an attacker. Everyone else blanked. João Pedro's gone. Not yet, but he's going. There are a lot making João Pedro to Mateta moves last night, Dean, because Mateta went up in price.
Oh,
Feels
really?
very risky given the fact that so many teams have got EFL Cup this week. I was just like, I can't. I'm going to wait. I'm waiting. I don't care about money. I let's say Gyökeres breaks his leg and I sell João Pedro, not Gyökeres. Like you'd be annoyed. So yeah, I'm waiting. And then Dean, let's see your team because I was on a grey arrow until Van der Ven, but you
let's do it.
Jumps out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can stick my team up. As I say, it was not looking good, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be one of my worst weeks ever. And then Van der Ven comes in with 23. Like. Front three losers, 8 points between them. Gakpo, I brought him. So I bought Voltemada and Gakpo in last week as my two transfers. This is the thing with Rice, right?
Played.
This is what I've said. It's like if I'm going to pick him, I've got to keep picking him.
You were close though, because on Monday last week he was one you were thinking maybe would be sold. And I remember thinking, I hope Dean doesn't do that because Rice's have been so good for you.
Yeah, and this is why because like there are. You really have got to be patient sometimes. It's like with Petrovic in goal. It's like, if you just stick with players like Rice or a Petrovic, then like every few weeks you're going to be like repaid for that. And it doesn't really matter in between because they might come up trumps when the rest of your team hasn't. And that really did help out, obviously. So like you look at that, the places where I've got points is literally Petrovic, Van der Ven and Rice.
Wow.
That is not what my ranking would have been for where my points were going to come from ahead of the game week. So thanks to those guys. I'll send them all an email to say thank you. Jason's also had Rice all season. Well done, mate. Keep the faith. I know there's Little Miss FPL usually has Rice and a couple of others too. So keep strong, guys. Keep strong. We can do this. But yeah, obviously Gabriel was the big miss, and we're going to talk about him a bit in a second. Yeah, Little Miss FPL's just written in right now. So yeah, 61 points, mate, and it gave me a massive boost. So I can't open that stupid app right now. I think it's 320k or something I'm up to, which is very nice. I still feel like there's going to be room for improvement. I've got the Bournemouth game playing in front of me right now, and I tell you what, this team, they're doing something special. I'm watching it in its entirety right now, mate. And I think Nottingham Forest have got out of their half. I've just watched the first 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Bournemouth are they're just camped inside the final third. Like, this team is serious. So let us know, everyone, what your transfer plans are. We'll start talking about how we build out from here. And also, we've got a good graphic that's going to come up, which is the best team of the season in FPL so far. So I've freshly nicked this from Reddit. It was in the fantasy thing, and someone said, look, this is the team of the season so far. So all the highest points earners to go into a team. Now, this hasn't taken into account Van der Ven, by the way. So Van der Ven would be in it. I think he's on 55. I think his haul now takes him into. So he was nowhere near this, but suddenly he's in it. So he'd probably knock out Senesi or something.
Mate, look at the formation straight away. Just look at the formation. That says a lot. We all play 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 until this season, and now we're seeing a few back fours. But I mean, one up top. I mean, the second best performing striker, I think, is it's like Igor Thiago or something. It's the Brentford man is the second best scoring forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's an eye opener. It's an eye opener, and what I like too is the team almost works, because you would have like Rice and Caicedo like holding in the middle, or like sat in the middle. You'd have Mbeumo one side. You'd have Semenyo down the other flank. You'd have Haaland in the middle. You could move that defense. Like, it's actually a team that kind of works. Yeah. So it's a lot to think about, because it's showing us that the defensive points are there to be had in a season where we don't know who our third striker, I don't know who our second striker should be, but certainly don't know who our third striker should be. And we don't know who our fourth and fifth midfielders should be. And maybe we should be putting that money on that thought process into our defence.
Yeah. Nice, mate. Triple Arsenal defence. You have triple Arsenal attack. Now, your team's awesome, but Arsenal defense. I mean, I've got one Arsenal defender and two attackers. I want to get away from Gyökeres eventually, and I want to get another defender. Double defense is the play for me. And Saka's great, and Rice has been great, sure. But having Arsenal defense does feel necessary. Gabriel feels like, I hate using the term, and there's two in the game, Haaland and Gabriel, a must-have. But Gyökeres, with the fixtures up next, Sunderland and Burnley, look, it's on any day at home, especially, they've been good, fairly hard to beat this season, especially Sunderland. But do we keep the faith? I feel like we have to give him those two if we own him.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to get up their full fixtures, because it's not quite as simple as it looks. Because they've got a Carabao Cup game this week at home to Brighton. Then they've got Burnley away. Then they've got Champions League game in Prague. And then they've got Sunderland, and then it's North London derby. So there is more to think about here. And we have seen rotations happen. Yep. For example, like Rice was left out of the starting lineup in that other week. Maybe it was their first Champions League game that week or something like that. So for me, I'm actually thinking, like, which games is Declan Rice going to play? Like, is he going to rotate? Because they're all winnable games. Declan Rice isn't going to play. Will he leave Declan Rice out of the Carabao Cup so that he plays at Burnley?
Yes.
Probably. But then does Rice also play Prague and Sunderland?
Yeah.
Or does he just play Sunderland?
I reckon he misses one from like 5-6. And same with like your Sakas. I can't see Arteta becoming this rotation monster. Like, he still will flog him in the Premier League. Like, he's a little bit more cautious. But one game every maybe 8 or 9 even for a Rice would be fine in my eyes. But interestingly, I know Saka was ill, but when Saka's ill, 1-0 up against Palace, in years gone by, he flogs him and gives him 90. Saka came off at like 65, didn't he? And I was like, damn, because I felt like Saka was, as Palace were chasing the game, Saka might get something late on. But he's definitely more cautious this year, Arteta. But still, you know.
CH said, is that Dean's TV we are hearing? Oh my God, like, you definitely can't hear my TV because that's muted. My phone's off. I reckon if you can hear sound, it's my wife on her Zoom call for her work call, which is not even near where I'm sat. She's just a loud American. I'm sorry about that. She's just very loud when she's.
You're allowed to say loud American. Kieran, FPL Discomfort, we're going to show your team. Before we do, though, just want to pick out a couple more players in Team of the Season. Kieran sent me his team. Remember, Kieran is 34K ranked in the world with a differential team. Kieran, just dropping your chip strategy in the chat. And when we get to it, we'll flash up what you've used and what you've still got to use in your plans as a comment. By the way, on the Rodon and Mbeumo Van de Ven chat, 63% were like me, Dean. They didn't have any of them. So that you're livid because you get a haul from one of those guys and you get a red arrow. It's just gutting. 3% had all three. So fair play.
Wow.
Other than the triple Arsenal defense, let's just talk about, we don't need to talk about Semenyo and Haaland and even Caicedo Rice. Want to touch on Man United and Mbeumo, but also want to touch on Sunderland goalkeeper, because I don't think anyone saw this coming. Goes to show, if you can get the right 4.5 million keeper, 4.5 million keepers are always, I think, the best. But there's only ever one that stands out. So I've played safe and I'm very happy with Pope at 5 and, sure, those that have Raya, great. But if you can get the right 4.5, there's a lot of wrong 4.5s, but the right 4.5 is usually the best because they play for a team where they'll get a lot of saves, they'll get bonus. And obviously, if they start keeping clean sheets like Sunderland can do, then you're winning. And Rufus has been amazing.
Yeah, it has. I mean, so my two goalkeepers are Petrovic and Dubravka.
Not bad.
Which isn't bad, because this week they're playing against Man City away and Arsenal at home.
Yeah. But you've had a lot of wins from Petrovic. And again, he is arguably the 4.5 pick other than Rofes. Like, it's the two of them.
I'm getting to the point where I've got to stop worrying so much about the fixture because the season's been such a mess.
Yeah.
It's been so unpredictable. And it's like, we just start trusting the players rather than worrying about who they're playing. Because in a season when Bournemouth are right up there and Sunderland are right up there and everyone was writing off Amorim and now Man United are back up there and Arsenal are coasting most of the time. And I'm not sure I'm going to be too worried about who they're playing. Now, Dubravka against... who would you go? Petrovic away to Man City or Dubravka home to Arsenal?
I'd go Petrovic because Bournemouth can cause a team like City problems. I think we've seen enough from Bournemouth opening day against Anfield. I know that they lost the game, but they were the better team. And I know Liverpool scored a few, but I just feel like, I don't think Bournemouth have ever won at City, but I don't know. I feel like they could cause them problems.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but yeah, you're right. Man City's probably a better team to target, given the way things are going. We have also got another card, which is worth showing while we're talking about, we were talking about Gabriel a minute ago and the need to start shifting towards Arsenal defence like we can see here. Because Gabriel's returns are absolutely insane.
He's a must-have. I'm going to go and say it. And at my rank, he's only 50% owned, which is ludicrous given his returns.
And the only team he's basically blanked against are City and Liverpool. They're the only two. The two toughest games. The two games that you would kind of anticipate he's not going to score in. He didn't score it. But every other game, you get at least 6 points out of him.
Mate, and against Palace, he actually did get more than 6 because this graphic didn't update since the bonus and he went and got 3 bonus. So against Palace, he gets 9. And he just missed out on DEFCON in that game. So he could have easily had 11. And he hit the post. So he could have had 16 or 17 if that goes in. Oh, and then if he gets the assist, which he nearly got, it's a 20-pointer. Gabriel was this close to a 20-pointer yesterday. Unbelievable, given the fact he's had a 12-pointer, a 9-pointer, and a 13-pointer in the 3 weeks before.
Yeah, it's hard to get to for me because I've got 3 Arsenal players all up the top. I've only got 1 transfer at the moment.
Got to get rid of Gyökeres, mate. You can't sell your boy Rice. You can't sell Saka.
Yeah, I know. It would be like, I'd be getting rid of like Gyökeres and Gvardiol, basically. I don't mind getting rid of Gvardiol, but...
get Mateta in, yeah.
And Gyökeres, I might just have to accept defeat on at this point.
Well, it's hard with the fixtures, though, isn't it? Because you do look at Gyökeres and go, selling him, like, if he's going to be the flat track bully we expected him to be, and he got the brace against Leeds, the 2 other newly promoted teams he's about to play. But as CH said earlier, let's stop seeing Sunderland as an easy fixture.
Yeah,
and actually interesting what you said about stop targeting fixtures, because this week everyone was buying. Enzo was really popular. Enzo's a good pick, sure, but they were going Chelsea at home to Sunderland, home banker, potential 3-4-0. Let's buy Enzo. Let's keep João Pedro, despite not having a shot on target since August. And João Pedro and Enzo were pretty underwhelming, as were people buying Chelsea defenders. we need to stop viewing Sunderland as an easy fixture.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, like the thing with Gyökeres too is like, okay, but even if he does start scoring, is he going to outscore Gabriel? Because that's what we're looking at here, and he's not. Like the evidence shows us that it's going to take a lot here for Gyökeres to start outscoring Gabriel over a period of time. If this record continues, of course. I mean, Arsenal have conceded, 1 goal from open play so far? It's ludicrous. Like what they're doing is crazy, but it's not fluke.
No.
Like this is how they're built. And Arteta's doing an amazing job in a season when there's a lot of inconsistencies elsewhere, a lot of underperforming elsewhere, a lot of shock results. Arsenal have been pretty settled. Like their defeat came against Liverpool, decided by a 30-yard free kick.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. They've drawn with Man City. That's fine. Everywhere else, they've just gone and got the business done and barely conceded a goal along the way. It's absolutely crazy. So for them to go to Burnley next, I mean, Burnley are surprising people with the results that they're picking up. But typically, Burnley will pick up points from the teams around them, not against Arsenal. So, we had this recently when who did Burnley play? And people said, was it Haaland? Yeah. Was it against Haaland?
I think it was Leeds, and people were bench boosting, and they got the clean sheet. And then they beat Sunderland. So they've beaten Sunderland, Leeds, and Wolves. Fair play, Burnley, because that's 3 big wins against relegation rivals. But you're right. Like, they're not going to go beat Arsenal. I just can't see it. I mean, they gave Liverpool problems at Turf Moor. I think it was a late Salah penalty from memory. But yeah, mate, the Arsenal thing is interesting. And Gabriel, you're right. Monster, we need him in our teams. Arteta went to Anfield and was pretty cautious, and Spotsai scores that last-minute free kick. I think that was game week 2 or 3. And off the back of that, Arteta's been a bit more adventurous because I think he went to Anfield for the draw. And I think after that, he kind of had a bit of if I'm going to win the league title, I need to be a little bit more adventurous. And he went to Newcastle and was quite attacking, and a few other games since the back of that. But it is concerning how much they rely on set pieces if they're going to go win the title, because at some point, you need your open play numbers to improve. They are first in terms of Premier League rank for set piece goals this season. For penalties, they've had 2, so also joint first. But for open play goals, they've only scored 5 goals. They are 17th for open play goals, Arsenal. That's a concern if you've got Gyökeres and Saka in your team, as me and Dean have. 17th for open play goals? You can't win the title with that sort of rank. So Arteta does need to find routes to goals that aren't just corners.
Does he?
Well, maybe he doesn't.
I don't know.
Can teams work out how to defend against Gabriel and co? I mean, they haven't been successful.
I don't think you can. That's the thing. It has proved impossible to get. I think that they've got so many different ways on those set pieces now. Like they've got so many tried and tested ones, and now they'll be mixing it up as well. They'll be like, right, people are going to start catching on to these ones. Let's try a different one. And that's the most difficult thing when you've got a set piece coach that is clearly like really believing in himself too, because it's working off. And Arteta's like, mate, I'll give you an extra hour with him if you want. Like, go and teach him another one. Mark says Dave Bassett must be grinning from ear to ear. I'm not sure how many of our viewers know who Dave Bassett is, mate, but I do. A classic coach from the Wimbledon days. FPL Discovery did say, in reality, there were 0 shots on target versus Arsenal in October. There's an Eddie Nketiah attempt given against them, but he says he's seen it and it doesn't really count. So really, they haven't given up any chances.
They just don't concede big chances. I think last week I was looking at the data in the Scout members area and they conceded 3 big chances all season. How do you get to 7-8 game weeks in and concede 3 big chances? It's mad. Kieran does make a good point in the chat. He's an Arsenal fan. He once had his hair cut by Bukayo Saka, by the way, for Arsenal TV. They are 7th for open play XG. And then he says, no, we're 6th for open play XG. Okay, well, they're 17th for goals, which you could argue XG matters slightly more for some people. And I actually love XG, so I'm going to say it does. But 7th or 6th still doesn't necessarily win you the title. Although maybe it does because they're so good at set pieces. I still think Arteta needs to be better than 6th for open play XG. They should be top 3, top 4, and top for set pieces and still go, yeah, now we're going to win the title. We're going to talk more about Kieran and his team. Let's talk differentials. Guys, if you've got anything from the show so far, if you're enjoying the chat, do hit the like button. JM just says it in the chat. Give the stream a like, guys. It massively helps us in the algorithm. It takes you 2 seconds. Also, click that subscribe button if you're new around here. And for all of you in the chat that are already subscribed, the notification bell is our friend. We've never done 5 p.m. on a Monday, maybe once or twice. 5 p.m. on a Monday, we're live because you've got notifications set. So do that stuff, guys. And if you're watching on catch up and you've got a question for me or Dean, again, drop it in comments.
The time difference has changed for this week. We've only got a 7-hour gap between us. And I'm loving it. When I woke up this morning and realized England was only 7 hours ahead of me, it was great to have that extra hour, with my written work and knowing I've got 3 podcasts to do and this show. I was glad to have this extra hour. It feels like England is closer to me, literally closer to me. How is the weather over there at the moment, mate? Any good?
Oh, the clock's changing is so annoying. Not only
I
does
used
it
to
get
hate
darker,
this time of year, man.
Seeing it getting dark at early, really late.
Is it pitch black now?
Oh, pitch black, and it's 5:30, and it's pitch black outside. It's been black. It's been dark for a while. I mean, what's really annoying is you've got young kids when the clocks change as well. They don't understand. So Gaia has been waking at 5:30, and obviously new arrival of a baby makes her even more unsettled. 4:30 a.m. starts. We got the on Saturday night. We got home from the hospital, up all night with the baby. Got him down at 4. At 4, he finally switched off from feeding and was like, I'm happy to sleep now. And then 30 minutes later at 4:30 a.m., Guy awoke. I was like, I got half an hour.
That's insane. And I can't even think about it.
I get
PTSD. I get PTSD.
So let's look at Kieran's team because he's got a team full of differentials and he's 36k in the world. This is a content creator doing things differently. And if you want to know more from FPL Discomfort's channel, Kieran, you can click on, tell us more about your channel because it's not on your page. It's, I've had a mental block. Vet. No, it's you and Vet. What's your channel called? Oh, put it in the chat. Put a link in the chat. So this is how he's set for next week. But Kieran is often playing a back 4 or a back 5. Look at his defense. He has money spent on Gabriel and Senesi and Lacroix and Munoz. He's got 5 million or above defenders, or 4.9 million and above defenders. And then he's got Mukiele, who can play most weeks as well. He's gone double Arsenal attack, but he's just gone with 1 striker. He's got Guillaume and Fulkrug, just bench fodder.
Wow. I love it. And this is what we should have all been doing because no other forward's been reliable.
Yeah.
We've all been trying to work out who should I get. It's just I just won't get one of them. I'll just go somewhere else.
We keep chasing ceiling with strikers and going, if I get Calvert-Lewin and he does score a couple. Yeah, but you can go spend that 5.5 million on a Munoz that just gets points every week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like this team and fair play for being bold and going for something different when there's pressure to not do that. I can't remember who it was earlier talking about the template for the season. Template? How can there be a template anymore? Everyone's doing rubbish. Everyone that should be doing well barely is. Barely any of them. And so and that's what's good about it. The season's mental. It's unpredictable. It's terrible for content creators. But for everyone else, make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because everything's up for grabs right now. This game is completely open. And nobody really knows what the template is. Nobody knows who's going to bang each week. The last game week tells us that. And so this is an opportunity to be your own boss and pick the team that you genuinely feel. And that's what this team that was on the screen right now, I think, proves.
Yeah. FPL Mackham says the template is in the toilet. And he's got a point. The template doesn't pick players like SA because they're too risky for minute because he's not on pens. The template doesn't consider going with 4 expensive defenders. Double Palace defense might not be keeping clean sheets, but Lacroix is a DEFCON monster. He'll get goals. And Munoz has been sensational so far. Mukiele is someone you want to be playing, not benching. I've just subscribed to Double Pivot. I'll check it out. Good stuff. Double Pivot is Kieran's pod. So FPL Discomfort, congrats on 36k. Mate, go smash it. Given your rank now, and did you ever let us know your chip strategy? What have you played and and your outstanding chips, when are you planning on using them? We would love to know. In fact, we'd love to know in the next 30 seconds. So please let us know when we're on this and then we can flash it up. Dean, final question on Kieran's team. Do you think Crystal Palace attack now needs an opportunity to come to the fore. Like Sarr, Mateta, they've got 3 home games in the next 4, which include Brighton first up. We know that's a derby, but, arguably a good fixture. Sorry, it's Brentford, then Brighton, both at home. Their away games in the next 5 are Wolves and Burnley. So go into Wolves, go into Burnley, and they've got Man United at home. Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, Man United, Burnley. That is a fixture run that makes me want maybe even double Crystal Palace attack. Because for XG, for a lot of the metrics for attack, Palace are top of the charts.
Yeah, hold off because they play Liverpool this week in the Carabao Cup, and they'll go there and try and win that. They'll believe that they can go to Anfield and win that cup game. So they're going to put out a full team, and they're going to exert a lot of energy. And we've got to beware that there's injury potential in that game, just because they'll be putting, in my opinion, so much into it. And a lot of people look at the Premier League app or whatever, and they don't kind of forget that there are other games around the team's season. And for Palace, that is the case. And we don't even kind of forget that Palace are in Europe. Most people aren't watching the Conference League and have no idea probably how they're doing. But they have also got a game coming up against AZ Alkmaar. So that's another one to take into account, because for them, that competition is important because they could win it. But of course, if beyond that Liverpool game things are looking good, and Sarr or Mateta has to be in the thinking. I had the dilemma myself. It was Voltemada or Mateta, and where am I going to go? I've gone Voltemada, so we'll see whether I was right or wrong on that over the next few weeks, leading into the international break. But yeah, definitely getting towards a time when we need to again consider Crystal Palace, because we all overlook them too often.
Kieran, by the way, this is unbelievable. Sure, he's used his triple captain, got points. Free hit, he went early. He still has a wild card. This is a content creator at 36k that hasn't wildcarded. Unbelievable. That's the strongest chip. Hence, he's still got Fulkrug. That was the giveaway. He's still got his bench boost. May use it in 15. By the way, 15 is the week before players get to AFCON. May wildcard and AFCON transfers in or out of it. Interesting. And obviously, the AFCON transfers, remember, will get 5. Topped up to 5. If you've got 3 in the bank, you'll just get 2. So we want to be using all of our transfers by 15, going into 16, where you'll get the additional. We'll explain that more nearer the time, but just so you know, every team will be topped up to 5 free transfers. Doesn't matter how many African players you got. It's not about that. You can have just Mo Salah and still get 5 free transfers. You can carry them. You can keep carrying them. Mate, I love it. Kieran, awesome. Good luck, mate. Go smash it this season. Okay, guys, reminder for those that have just tuned in, it is 20 to 6. The like is our friend. We would love to boost the algorithm. And by you hitting the like button, it massively does that. I think we've got only 60. So I'm sure we can get to 200 by the end of the stream, can we?
Yeah, you like to think. Come on, people. Come on. Give us a like. What do you think about Man United's next game, by the way, mate? Because they play Nottingham Forest away. They're obviously still coming to terms with everything that's gone on. Just watch that Bournemouth game and you see that they lose their heads a bit. Douglas Luiz is all over the place at times. And Mbeumo keeps cropping up into my head as somebody that needs to come into the thinking. So if you had Mbeumo or Sarr, and knowing that Mbeumo doesn't have any games, they're out of the FPL Cup, they're not in Europe. Yeah. This is all they've got.
It's huge. Mate,
that's significant.
I really speak about the Palace being top of the attacking metrics, a lot of them. Man United are there too. Man United for XG, top of the charts. And Mbeumo's the obvious. He's cheaper than Bruno. Yes, he doesn't come with pens, but boy, I love an average position. He is the Salah. He is the Saka. Wide, high, right-hand side, cutting in on the left foot. Ended the game almost down the middle with Xerxes. I'd done my early thoughts video that I dropped this morning on my channel, and my players that I discussed were João Pedro replacement. I'm definitely doing it. I'm selling João Pedro, and I'm probably buying Mateta. And how can I get to Mbeumo? Because he's the guy I want. My only route to Mbeumo is selling Gyökeres, though. I could go, say, to Gianni Reinders up to Mbeumo, but that would mean getting rid of Gyökeres to, say, someone I like a Krupi Jr. But I don't know if I want to do that ahead of those 2 fixtures. But the time is now for Mbeumo. He is hot, and he doesn't have midweek football. And I remember from his days at Brentford, and I say this about a lot of attacking players, just goals breeds confidence, and you do see players go on these runs. And I feel like Mbeumo's form at the moment is going to see him keep scoring.
Mate, his form on the FPL app is 10.
Wow.
It just says 10. 8.1 mil. Yeah, he's in there ahead of Semenyo now. Is on 8.3. Rice behind him, Neto, Bruno Guimaraes, Bentancur. Well, there's a few random ones in there, but yeah, in Mbeumo's form, if you like to pick by that sense at 10, he's selected by 20%. Yeah, it's looking like a nice little pick. I'm not sure how I feel about my Gakpo pick now in hindsight, but I've got Aston Villa at home. I'm sticking with it. Like, I still believe that Gakpo, if I'm patient with him, will be a good selection. So I don't know. Personally, I can get to Mbeumo because he's 8.1, and I don't really have somebody that can go to. It would literally take me to get rid of Saka to make the straight swap, and I don't know I would do that. Dylan says Gakpo to Mbeumo. Yeah, I think, honestly, if I could do it in one switch this week, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
But I can't. And so if you can, then go for it, I would say.
Yeah, he's that good. And Man United, I'm never like the biggest fan. I've been critical of Amram, whatever. Critical of Man United for a decade. All my life. I wouldn't be touching a defender still. Like, they are vulnerable and they will concede. And Brighton look good in attack because Man United aren't that solid. But I have to forget about that. I'm not buying an FPL attackers for them to win football matches or for them to, have nice, neat and tidy 1-0 wins. I just care about goals, right? That's the metric we're only really looking at. And Mbeumo's going to get them. He's just proven and he's going to get them. And I feel like we see a lot of good, talented wide forwards come to the Premier League and at Man United. I think of all the players that have played in that slot, in that position, or just attacking spots for Man United over the last decade. And they've bought a lot of good players from other leagues. And Di Maria is a great example. Doesn't do it and get the goals you expect him to. And Mbeumo was proven, and that's why he was such smart business. Premier League goals, and boy, has he fitted in like seamlessly. He's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they're absolutely loving him at the moment at United. So I think that's strong. A lot of people asking about João Pedro replacements.
Yeah, let's do that. Where are you at with that, Dean? Like, where should people be going? Because you don't own him, but if you own João Pedro, would you sell him straight away now? He's blanked in the last 5 games. He's had 3 shots on target, 3 shots on goal in the last 6 matches, compared to Mateta, who I think's had 23 in that time.
Yeah, I mean, I've said for a while I wouldn't have been looking at him anyway, but just to kind of look at people that are in that same price bracket. So let me just load this.
Yeah, Waltemada, Mateta.
Yeah, exactly. So Waltemada's the place where I went. Exactly. Vissa's there, but irrelevant kind of. I mean, Šeško, I think, is kind of definitely worth starting to consider. I think he'll come good in this period again because there's 1 game a week. He is the focal point. I don't think there'll be too many times he's swapped out for Cunha like we saw in that 1 game.
Early subs, do you worry about that with Šeško? Like, he doesn't ever play 90, but no, he does. He has played 90 twice, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be too concerned about it. And like, the games coming up are pretty decent. Forest, Tottenham, Everton for Šeško. They're fine. I'm still quite happy with my Waltemada pick, if I'm completely honest. Like, Waltemada up against West Ham next, Brighton and Man City. City games at home, which gives me more belief. He's got good output across his all his games, apart from the 1 game I've had him for, which was the Fulham game. But I'm hoping that comes back around. Mateta's obviously only 0.2 more than João Pedro, I think. So that's an obvious place to be looking, I think. So for me, it would be Waltemada, Mateta. I'd keep a sneaky eye on Kolo Muani. So I think
that is out of nowhere.
I think he now keeps his place. I said last week I wrote a piece saying Richarlison's like Kolo Muani will start at the weekend. I wrote for Team Talk. He's in the frame. I wasn't sure if it was a bit of a gamble because I wasn't sure if he's definitely got enough in him to play.
It's a massive gamble, mate.
But he's going to be getting a lot of games coming up. Solanke's not ready yet. Richarlison's not really fancied. And so it's not a nice spell of games for Tottenham coming up. Like, they got Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal.
I hate that shout, but Kieran, who's at 36k, loves it.
I just think it's different. And
I mean, it's different, but I think it's also rubbish. But is it different and good?
I don't think it's rubbish. This is the thing. It's Colomwani.
Yeah, but what did he do against Everton?
Do you know how much better he is than Richarlison?
Fair, but I still question how many goals Spurs will score. I know they look good yesterday.
I think it'd be a much better option. And if you still look, I mean, maybe people are going to come away from wanting a third forward, but I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I've put him on the radar early. We've done it a few times, and they've paid off. So I'm just putting it out there that Colomwani is going to be getting some serious minutes between now and the end of the year.
I'll give you a left field one as well, then, and that is a guy that's been injured for 3-4 months, but there's talk he'll be back this week, and he's going to be eased back, but maybe he's good for a start in a fortnight's time. I don't know. Liam Delap. No one's there. I mean, he's a more obvious name because he's a 6.5 Chelsea forward, but
yeah,
I am interested. Like, if someone tells me Liam Delap's going to start starting Premier League football matches next weekend, then you're there, aren't you? But then he's probably not. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's worth. I will actually check that out. That's a good point.
Find out what you can about Delap, because originally we were told like December, and now Maresca said last week he's expected to start full team training, or no, be involved next weekend. I think he hopefully could be involved next weekend. And I'm like, what? I thought we were like a month short, of maybe even 6 weeks short.
I think they've got to be super careful with him and Palmer. Like, they've got to err on the side of caution here, because they cannot have those guys having a setback. So if I was like guessing, I would say that they will give them a little more time than they even necessarily need.
Yeah, Chelsea need him soon.
Yeah, they shouldn't do. You've got enough other options.
João Pedro can't play 9 against certain opponents. Like, that's very clear. He's not a leading 9 in, like, it's so opposition dependent. He wants to be the 10. Mark Guiu's done all right, though, to be fair. Let's talk about another budget enabler forward, though, because Mateta's the obvious replacement for João Pedro. Let's do a poll as well. Are you selling João Pedro this week? And we'll do a yes, I'm selling him, no, I'm keeping him, or no, I don't own in the first place. But I reckon there's going to be 30-40% of people selling João Pedro. So they are all shopping for a replacement. Then we'll do a poll on replacements. Waltemada, Mateta for me. Igor Thiago, we've got to discuss. But also, the one I really like, Krupi Jr. Like, what do you make of this lad, Dean? Because Evan Nilsson, again, Iraola said we hope to have him back next week against whoever he's against, game week 10. I'm not sure he gets back in the starting 11. Certainly not yet. You can't drop Krupi Jr. yet, can you? If Evan Nilsson's fit, does he come in and start? I don't think he does.
Look, for someone, the good thing about him, not just that he's cheap, is that he's fearless and he's got nothing to lose. Like, no one was expecting this from him, and he's not worried about losing his spot. And he's got such a good record when he's played, like, not just at Bournemouth, but before this. Like, he's got a really good return ratio. I didn't expect him to come in like this, but Bournemouth spotted something special that they felt would adapt quickly to the Premier League when they signed him.
Yeah.
And I was very skeptical about it. I was like, that's a big jump that he's making. But he's done it so far. And I think that sometimes when you're on that vibe and you've got that rhythm, it's really interesting that a player can just kind of make the most of the opportunity. Trying to get I can't find his record quickly here of how many goals he got last season in France, but it was a good.
It was 20 odd.
It was 20 odd goals, yeah. So yeah, this is a guy that's really, really in the rhythm at the moment. I just don't know that people will be that brave enough, and I think a lot of the reasoning is that people don't really watch Bournemouth. Yeah. So you really are just picking him off the bare data.
Vibes. Yeah. He's different profile to Evan Nilsson, though, isn't he? Like, he's an out-and-out like goal scorer. Evan Nilsson feels like a key cog in that attack. He works hard for the team. He holds the ball up well. He feeds Semenyo and Kluivert. They're all better players because of Evan Nilsson. But he doesn't actually get many goals. He did it, I think, the year before he joined in Portugal. He had one good season. But Krupi Jr. feels like an out-and-out goal scorer.
At the moment, yeah. And then what happens with Semenyo? Mackham said if Krupi keeps spots, Semenyo comes less essential.
I still think Semenyo is the best 8 million mid in the game. I still think Semenyo is better than Mbeumo. I think it's very easy just to look at the last couple of weeks and go, I'd go Mbeumo over Semenyo now. I wouldn't. Over the first 10 weeks or 9 weeks, I think I've seen enough from Semenyo to suggest that he's an awesome FPL asset in his own right, regardless of other attackers in that team, but also regardless of other attackers in that price point. I think we keep Semenyo, and I think Man City's not a good fixture for him, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him score.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree with that. I would definitely hold him. Like, he's in my team for that. Jason says a season hold. Yeah, I've got absolutely no intention of changing up Semenyo. Don't even look at it as a transfer option. It's just too risky.
Mate, have you seen the João Pedro poll? This is unbelievable. So first and foremost, just over 70% of people watching own João Pedro right now. That's mad. Like, his ownership amongst engaged managers is sky high. So this is a very good discussion for our viewers. But over half people watching right now, are selling him this week. Only 14% are keeping him. And by the way, he does have amazing fixtures. He's just not shooting. And then 29% actually don't own him right now. But for 58% this week to be selling him, let's just do a poll. If you're selling João Pedro, where do you go? Mateta, Krupi Jr., Igor Thiago, and Walter Mada. Let's just give those 4 options.
All right, what about Kyle Mwani? I'm joking.
Or Mark Guiu. You could go Guiu if you want to go really cheap.
But yeah, I'm glad that everybody's finally realised that he's no good. I've said it for a while now that he wasn't a good pick.
I think he'll be good when Palmer comes back.
Do you?
I mean, Welbeck, Glenn, you're right. And Glenn did send a super chat earlier. We can't give an option, don't have a clue yet, Sammy. I wanted to give an option saying other, but you can only give 4 options, I think. If you can give 5, we'll put Welbeck in, though, Glenn.
Yeah, Welbeck's a good option. Sure, because he's consistent in terms of what he'll give you, and he'll, even when you least expect it, come up with a goal. So I really do like Welbeck. I just never get round to actually going for it.
Yeah.
Like, as probably plenty of people, we all know what's there. We all know the capabilities, but we just tend to go something more fashionable.
Yeah, it's funny. We always just discard him. It's crazy. England too, by the way. Rio Ferdinand tweeted, I think earlier, something like, World Cup 2026 with a picture of Welbeck. His mate, obviously, United boys.
That's a good sub option. I don't blame it. Like, I don't mind it.
Mate, Tim Sherwood said on Sky Sports News last week, and Tim Sherwood's always good value, I think. He said Welbeck is the closest thing England have got to a Harry Kane like-for-like replacement. If Kane gets injured, Welbeck would be the guy he would put in as the Kane replacement Kane role. Like, Watkins, very different profile to Kane. Welbeck can do the short stuff that Kane does, not anywhere near as good, but he can also do a lot of the sort of predatory stuff. I don't know if he was right. And then I thought, no, that can't be right. There's got to be closer to Kane. Like, is it Solanke? Is it, I don't know who. And then I was like, actually, I'm pretty sure on England number 9's like, fair point. Probably take him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Tuchel doing it. Like, he won't go down that path, I don't think. But he's shown recently that he's willing to do some things that are a bit different. So, he's leaving Bellingham out and then seeing him star in a Classico. So if he's willing to do that, then maybe he's willing to do more than I might be predicting from him. People do still seem torn on what to do about João Pedro. And I think it's going to be the biggest dilemma of the week, just from what we're seeing in the conversation in this chat today. Litmus FPL saying, just don't know what to do. Feels like my 50-50 picks always go the wrong way. And do you think there's any benefit to keeping him?
Yeah, I do. I do. Tottenham away is clearly a tough fixture. Wolves and Burnley. I know we said Sunderland was a good fixture, but I think we all deep down knew Sunderland were good, and it was being made out to be a good fixture when perhaps it wasn't. Wolves at home, surely that's like, if we look at FPL as a game where we chase fixtures and we look at, is there a potential 3-4-0 win for X team against X opponent? And that's what we really look for when we're going with our big upside picks. You'd have to say Chelsea versus Wolves at Stamford Bridge comes with a reasonable chance of a 3-4 goal game for Chelsea, the way Wolves are playing at the minute. They just conceded 3 at home to Burnley. João Pedro should be involved if they're scoring those goals.
He should be, yeah. And like, he should feel like he needs to prove something right now. He's not the sort of guy I can imagine that is taking this well. Like, he's got an ego, definitely. So he's going to be wanting to repay his FPL owners, I'm sure. FPL Double Pivot, good evening to you.
Kieran's logged on his different account to come say hi, so we can subscribe.
Oh, yes, that was done. Like, hang on, we've just been talking about this. Has somebody else got the login?
Unless FPL Vet, his partner, is also on there.
Yeah,
Maybe she's texted him and said, "Come in the chat." Yeah. Oh no, it's Shane. It's Shane. Yeah. So, mate, where would you? I mean, I think I'm going Mateta. 49% are looking to do the same. Igor Thiago, 23%. Walter people cooler on because he's just blanked, but 17%.
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Krupa Jr. 11%. I think Evan Nilsson injury news is key here, but if we were told it's worse than first feared and he's out for a while, everyone would go Krupa Jr. But I think we just worry about minutes. How do you read the Bournemouth minutes moving forward? Let's say Evan Nilsson's fit, game week 10. Does he come straight back into the 11 in your opinion, or does he stick with Krupa for a few games because he's scoring goals?
I don't know about a few, but certainly for the next one, I'd be amazed if he didn't stick with it for now. So, I would be confident that he sticks with this. Can't leave a player out when he's feeling this good, you know.
Earlier this season, Evan Nilsson got subbed a few times for Krupa. It's not like he's a kid that's just come in because there's an injury. Like, he has played a fair bit with Evan Nilsson around. Like, sure, Evan Nilsson's been first choice, but Krupa's been a legit good sub option.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm quite, what I'm enjoying about the season is like getting stuck into some other teams that I wouldn't usually watch as much of. Like I said last week, like I started watching full Sunderland games. So I need to understand what's going on here. Like, how are they doing this? And the same, like I say, I've got this Bournemouth game on, and I'm like, I'm not just going to watch extended highlights of this. I'm going to watch to see like what's the rhythm of this team? What positions are they actually getting in? The eye test, I personally think, is way more important than ever this season. Like, I don't think people backing data are doing particularly well from what I can tell. Like
100%.
It's
100%.
Maybe that's why I'm doing well, because I don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah. But mate, it's a good point. Like, the teams look really good. Like, I look at Man United Brighton as a game and go 6 goals, loads of quality. What do those two teams have in common? Well, neither are playing European football. And I come back to it a load in my content this season. I talk about it a lot. But you have to say, those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night European fixtures for a lot of teams, especially those in the Champions League, if you're not named Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, that just manage to always keep their performance sky high. But if you're a Chelsea or you're a Newcastle, or in years gone by, we've seen Aston Villa in the Champions League, Spurs, you're going to see a dip. You're going to see a dip at the weekend versus teams like Brighton, Man United, Bournemouth and Everton. 4 brilliant or very good teams that don't have European football and get a full week on the training ground. That is massive. Not only are the players more fresh, but they get a week to work on their tactics. Like, it's training ground time is so.
And that's why Man United will be getting better, because they can finally actually work on this system.
Yeah,
they're actually working on it.
Last year, Amram came in and they had midweek football every week. You know, they didn't get the time they needed.
Absolutely.
So I look at those teams just mentioned. Now, of course, there's 15 or 13 teams not playing in Europe. Fine, or is it 12? You can't pick them all. But who are the best teams not playing in Europe? Everton, I'm still interested in Ndai. Brighton, I've just bought Minter. Man United, I'm keen on Mbeumo. Bournemouth, we all own Senesi and Semenyo. We've been talking about Krupa Jr. tonight. We've spoken about Welbeck tonight. Like, I'm still very interested.
Yeah.
And Ndai, we haven't mentioned, by the way. He feels like a very good pick still.
He's still so good, man. Well. He's so good. CH, thank you for being with us. See you later. Last minute, mate. One thing that I'm small considering is a free hit. I'm small, like, shall I do this? Because I could get on that Arsenal defence for this week.
Yeah, but Gyökeres could bang. Oh, maybe we put together
I just wonder if a few people will consider it. The other thing for me is like, okay, I had an unexpected good week this week. I've had a few good weeks recently, and I've built this kind of momentum to get to 300k. Another good week, and I could be up there. My team isn't that bad. Like, my actual team for this upcoming game week is fine, probably, but it might be able to be better. And so I'm gonna consider over the next couple of days whether I play this free hit.
Watch this space. I don't love it. It doesn't jump at me from a fixtures point of view where I go loads of gimme fixtures of teams I'm not already invested in. But mate, put it together and have a look. Also, I think your team, as you say, is all right. But yeah, of course, you can jump off Bournemouth players this week because it's a tough fixture. You can go for the right 3 Arsenal, but you could argue you need to get the right 3 Arsenal anyway long term.
It's like I kind of want to target Newcastle against West Ham. I want Arsenal defence against Burnley. I kind of fancy Brighton to beat Leeds.
Double Brighton attack. Welbeck and
I could get Mbeumo in for the Nottingham Forest game. There's a few things I'm like, I might try it just for a bit of fun.
Oh, watch this space, guys. We'll be back later this week with another stream. On your way out, guys, do hit those buttons, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you to all the amazing chasers. We do these streams because we want to interact with you guys. So thank you, as always. Thank you to you, Dean. I'm under strict instruction to be upstairs helping with the kids. So I'm going to love you and leave you guys. We'll see you later in the week. Bye-bye.